This is the murder of Andreen Mcdonald. Andreen Nicole Mcdonald was born in Port Antonio, Jamaica, to her parents, Hyacinth Ferron and Paul Anderson. Andreen attended Norwich Primary School and Tishfield High School. Andrea excelled academically in both schools. She received an associate degree in business study with a major in marketing at Excelsior Community College. Andreen migrated to the United States, where she completed her Bachelor's of Business Administration degree in finance from the University of Texas, San Antonio. Building on her passion for ownership and using the lessons she learned in life and school, after graduation at the age of 22, she started her own business in San Antonio, Texas, known as Starlight Home Assisted Living. Andreen met her husband, Andreen Mcdonald, in Port Antonio, and they both migrated to the United States separately. Once in the United States, they reconnected and later became engaged and then married. The couple also had a beautiful young daughter together. Things was going seemingly well for the beautiful young couple, and then on Friday, March 1st, 2019, Andreen did not show up to work, which was alarming to her co-workers and those who knew her well. It was definitely out of her character. What was even stranger was that she never showed up to her home either. There was nowhere for her to be found. No one knew where she was. That day, Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar said no friends, family, or business associate had seen or heard from McDonald since the Thursday before her disappearance. The sheriff told reporters he believed the 29-year-old could have been a victim of foul play. The following day, Sheriff Salazar announced that McDonald's husband Andre, currently serving as a major in the U.S. Air Force, is a person of interest in the case. He was taken into custody due to a possible mental issue, the sheriff's office said. On March 3rd, just days after her disappearance, Andrew McDonald was arrested and charged with evidence tampering. Executed in search warrant at the McDonald's home, found a shovel, an axe, work gloves, and gasoline that had been recently purchased. Salazar said this led them to believe that Andreen Mcdonald was going to dispose of a body. Sheriff deputies also observed human blood on the light switch and floor of the master bathroom. Andreen's personal belongings, such as her purse, ID, and keys, were left behind at the home. The arrest affidavits go on to show that a friend of Andreen told investigators that Andreen told her multiple times that if anything were to happen to her, it would be because Andre killed her. Meanwhile, 100 joined investigators in the search for Andreen. Investigators learned that Andre had entered Camp Bullets after Andreen was already reported missing on a day he did not have any official business scheduled there. Crews searched inside the Camp Bullets training ground, where they were assisted by the airmen of 502 2nd Air Base Wing, as well as around 2,000 volunteers. During the search, Andreen's family told reporters they remained supportive of Andre, the husband, however, wasn't cooperating with investigators and remained in jail. 8 days after McDonald's disappearance, family and friends honored Andreen at an emotional vigil. Friends spoke of a woman who gave so much to her community. She owned Starlight Nursing Homes, assisted living, and was called a beast and goddess by those who knew her. Others called for her husband Andre to come forward and give answers to the public. One of her friends quote, "I hope he experienced God's mercy as much as he can." 3 weeks passed, and still Andreen's body has not been found. During this time, there were rumors of infidelity, that Andreen had a lover back in Jamaica in her city of Port Antonio, and that Andre found out about it and was less than happy, and that she threatened to leave him and take the business and move on with her life. It was alleged that she had her new lover's name tattooed on her hands, and that enraged Andre. Almost 4 months after much search effort in the community and posters being put up around the community as well, Andreen's body was discovered in a wooded area. The sheriff Salazar announced that the search for Andreen was officially over. Her husband Andre was charged with the murder of his wife. 3 days before his murder trial, Andreen Mcdonald called his sister-in-law, Cindy Johnson, and confessed to murdering her sister, Andreen Mcdonald. He told Cindy that he wanted her and his mother-in-law to know the truth before they went to court. Cynthia Johnson immediately called the sheriff's office with the information that she had just received from her brother-in-law about the killing of her sister. He told Cynthia that he had murdered Andreen in front of their autistic daughter, and after she finished watching the whole entire scene, he placed her in the bed. It was heart-wrenching for Cindy to hear her brother-in-law talk about the brutal murder of her beloved sister. During the 41 minutes phone call Cynthia had with Andre, he described how he plunged her sister to the ground, used his foot to stomp her until she was unconscious, and took her final breath. He then took her clothes off of her body, leaving her naked. Then he took her into his car, brought her to the woods, and left her there until the day that she was found. At trial, Andre was cold and nonchalant about the killing of his wife. He blamed her for her own death. He blamed her also that he was here facing a murder trial for something he think that she caused. In fact, he was so angry at Andreen that the next morning he went back to chop up her body and burn her, but did not have enough gasoline to do so. But before laying Andreen in the woods, her husband Andreen beat her dead face repeatedly, filled with anger and rage towards his wife, claiming that she put him in a situation that he was in to become a murderer. How obscene and ridiculous that is. Andre never once talked about his daughter or even considered the effect that it would have on this young child for the rest of her life, knowing that she was key witness in seeing her father brutally killed her mother. Andreen Mcdonald displayed on trial that he was a wicked and evil man that was only consumed with himself and only cared about his feelings and no one else. Ironically enough, Andreen Mcdonald's father, who lives in Port Antonio, Jamaica, is facing double murder charge for the killing of his two wives. I guess the saying is right, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. The judge admonished McDonald for smirking in court and playing with his phone during the trial earlier days. He said that McDonald's emotions seems more like those of a serial killer and didn't match his military career or background. It disturbed me that the only time you paid attention was when they showed her bones up there on a display screen in court, Castro said of photos of Andreen Mcdonald's remains. In February 2003, Andreen Mcdonald was sentenced to 20 years in prison for manslaughter and an additional 5 years for tampering with evidence. Before sentences, family member of Andreen made victim impact statement. Why choose murder in the first degree? Cynthia Johnson, Andreen's sister, asked. Why not divorce? You can think that you cannot escape your actions. You cannot escape God. A victim's advocate for the Baxter County District Attorney Office read a letter from McDonald's daughter, Elena. To Andreen Mcdonald, you killed my mother. You took away my life and broke my heart. And you hurt my feelings. And you will pay for what you did. You will be punished forever, the letter said. My prayers and condolences goes out to Andreen Mcdonald family, especially her young daughter Elena that she left behind. May her soul forever rest in peace. Until next time on the Meaningful Talk Crime Doc, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll catch up with you later in the comment section.